Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. Tonight, we'll be talking about the new administrative capital in Egypt's 2030 vision. Of course, the NAC, the new administrative capital, is a new urban community in Cairo Governorate and a satellite of Cairo city. It was planned, and it is planned to be Egypt's new capital, and has been under construction since the year 2015, and the capital city is considered one of the huge mega projects for economic development and for offering job opportunities, and is a part of a larger initiative, of course, called Egypt's 2030 vision. This will be our main topic for tonight. And we are happy to welcome here with us in the studio Dr. Mai Badran, a political and economic expert. A very good evening to you, Dr. Mai. Thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Allow us, Dr. Mai, please, and dear viewers, first to watch a report on our topic for tonight, and then come back and start our discussion.
Administrative Capital for Urban Development, the operator of the new administrative capital, announced the addition of a fourth phase to the ongoing developmental plan. Chairman Khaled Abbas of the ACUD has stated that the phases are being developed with the assistance of international consultancies following a global tender that attracted some of the world's largest engineering consulting firms. Abbas stated that the ACUD is currently in the process of planning the second, third and fourth phases, which were presented to these consulting offices, adding that the winning office would be selected to develop the plan during the first quarter of 2024. He noted that once the general plan for the new stages is completed, the ACUD will begin construction work immediately with an anticipated completion date in the second half of 2024. Abbas emphasized that the work of the ACUD is ongoing, providing services to both visitors and residents of the capital. He indicated that the around 100,000 housing units have been completed, with 1,200 families having already moved in. Additionally, several major banks and businesses are scheduled to relocate their headquarters to the new capital by Q1 of this year. The first phase of the capital developmental plan covered an area of 40,000 fedans, including 10 residential areas, with subsequent phases estimated to span approximately 190,000 fedans. Work on this phase was more than 70% complete in August 2023, according to a statement at the time by the ACUD. Once completed, the mega city is expected to house 6.5 million residents. ACUD has recorded profits of £10 billion during the first half of 2023, according to Abbas, who also expected a further surge of 15 to 35% in profits for the year. In 2022, the ACUD achieved pre-tax profits of £19.8 billion, and in 2023, the company targets projected profits of £26 billion, surpassing the £20 billion recorded in the previous year. Since its inception in 2015, the NAC has generated numerous investment opportunities. In a recent announcement, Abbas revealed ACUD's plan to offer up to 10% of its shares on the Egyptian exchange in the first half of 2024, which aligns with the Egyptian government's broader strategy to offer stakes in 35 state-owned companies to strategic investors throughout 2024. Established in 2016, the ACUD currently boasts a total capitalization of £204 billion.
Thank you, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, for this report back here in the studio with Dr. Mai Badran, the political and economic expert, talking about the new administrative capital. It's a huge, huge project, a project that has seen a lot of investments, has created a lot of jobs, is going to create a new urban community, It's going to alleviate the pressure from Cairo or Greater Cairo. Talk to us about how important is this new administrative capital, which is, according to plans, is to be Egypt's capital, financial capital as well, in conformity with Egypt's 2030 vision.
We have launched and kick-started in Egypt the new republic, and the new republic has the requirements of a certain infrastructure, of a certain economic infrastructure, new cities, new investments, and so on. And this week has seen the inauguration of several of our new republic's infrastructure fruits, if you will. We have seen yesterday the cementing of the nuclear reactor in the fourth phase of the project, with the video conference presence of both President El-Sisi and President Putin of Russia. And we have seen really the realization in a very sure steps towards completion of this project. The real interesting part of this project is not only adding on to Egypt's wallet of energy and renewable energy sources, but also it has created quite a sizable number of jobs, and in this situation very particularly specialized jobs. So it's not regular jobs for regular people, but it's high-end jobs for engineers and for specialists in nuclear reactors and so on. So we're talking about a certain level of again allowing the youth of Egypt, and we're talking about 16,000 jobs here. We've got now nearly 4,000 Russian jobs as well, Russian experts in Egypt, and then it will move up to 25,000 Egyptian jobs. So we're talking about quite a sizable number of specialized jobs, and that's very special for any country. We have seen also this week the inauguration or the opening of several of the skyscrapers in the new administrative capital, and this seeing the Chinese counterparts and the Chinese partners in that project, seeing again the realization of a huge plot of land and a certain number, I believe 12 skyscrapers, all of again. And the size here is not the question, but the size is always the size projecting to the future. We are not building Egypt for today. We are building Egypt for tomorrow. So we are creating jobs today. We are creating, on a microeconomic level, we are creating movement of a flow of money within local communities, of all the jobs working within these projects. And then we are moving into the medium term, which is a 4-year, this is 4 years later, we've got our buildings ready. And then we are looking into further down the line into actually having businesses and people and so on working within this area, because this is the business area. So you're talking about new businesses inaugurated and businesses local and international being moved into the new administrative capital. And we are talking here about a different business partner. We are talking about the Chinese government and Chinese business people as partners. So all the partnerships that I'm mentioning here, they are talking about a multi-layered country level partnership. I'm talking about strategic partnership. I'm talking about preempting, because all of these projects started, the Dab'a nuclear plant started in 2016, 2017, they signed the first protocol. So you're talking, and the preempting even energy requirements, and then in the new administrative capital, preempting the requirement of business and the job opportunities as well. So it's all about looking towards the future and making our resources available, our human resources, and pulling in as much economic resources as we can. And in both situations that I mentioned now, we are talking about international partners and partnerships and new multilateral financial agreements that helped Egypt start its new administrative capital and its new its new republic with the right infrastructure for the future. And when I talk also infrastructure, I have to mention technology. The new administrative capital is technology oriented from services point of view. So everything.
Sorry to interrupt. So this means it will also offer a lot of specialized jobs.
Again,
just like
definitely. The number of specialized jobs that are available, I don't have the right code for the whole administrative capital, because the capital itself has been built by nearly 2 million Egyptian engineers and workers over the past 6 or 7 years. So we're talking about 2 million coming into and out of the capital every day. Now we are talking about the movement of part of all the Egyptian government, and this is the movement of nearly 500,000 Egyptian mid-level to high-level executives from ministerial level down in all the ministries of Egypt. And then we are talking about the business move out and the diplomatic move out.
Right.
Egypt has gifted 47, I believe, embassy buildings to our African neighbors and partners and friends, and we have created a whole part of the project. We have created a whole road for the diplomatic quartier, and within this diplomatic quartier is the new also United Nations building, which has been approved by the United Nations headquarters and leadership. And the United Nations leadership envoy was a lady, has been very pleasantly surprised in seeing the building's progress more recently. So I'm going back to the point of technology and security. So I'm talking technology and infrastructure from the point of view services in electricity, high-speed internet, garbage collection, and then, because we're celebrating today our 72nd police celebration of the Egyptian police, we are talking about security. So the use of technology within the administrative capital to enhance security and to help our police force to make sure security is emphasized and maintained within the capital and outside of the new administrative capital is quite interesting. They are using face recognition devices. They are I'm not talking cameras here. I'm talking the next level cameras, the new generation of cameras. So face recognition, we are talking voice recognition, we are talking movement and sensors in special areas. We are talking about a huge database of everything related to security within the capital and within all of Egypt, and all under, of course, the leadership of the police force to maintain, to help them and enhance their jobs. And this is, and I was very happy to see technology emphasized in their celebrations earlier in the morning with the presence of His Excellency the President. They mentioned how technology helped them retract certain people who left prisons in the last 10 years, and how do they maintain peace and how do they maintain security within a populated area and within less populated areas. Night vision devices and special uniforms against fires, against chemicals, against certain products that are used in terrorism and so on. So really the technology that is being used is
impressive.
Definitely.
Right. Now, Dr. Mai, I'm sure that also much of the spending to service or to serve the new administrative capital is in the transportation sector.
Definitely. And a lot of technology there as well.
Absolutely. And we've seen Egypt really taking huge strides in the past few years when it comes to diversifying its means of transportation, finding new means of transportation, using new types of renewable energy in, in making those new transportation means work and so on. Please talk to us about how important was also that file, the transportation file.
Thank you for your question. Part of a very important building and again kickstarting for the new republic and kickstarting for the future is having a well communicated country and a well to and from everywhere in Egypt, not only to and from the new administrative capital. We are talking about to and from El Dab'a, like I mentioned at the beginning of our discussion here. We to and from Matruh, to and from Upper Egypt. We're talking Kena, we're talking Hurghada, we're talking the Red Sea, other Red Sea areas, Sharm el-Sheikh, Cairo, Beheira, and so on.
We're going to have that also in the new valley where a second capital is planned.
It's the new Mansoura as well, the new Mansoura city. You're talking about the new Alamein. And I remember as a child we used to have our summer vacations in Marsa Matruh. Reaching Al Alamein was quite a
journey.
A
hectic journey.
We used to start off very early in the morning, and it used to be a day just to reach Alamein in very basic roads and in two-ways roads, and that were not really very safe. And everybody was really concerned where people are. Now we can reach Alamein in under 3 hours, and we can reach Alamein via different routes, and this is also part of the new republic, and we can connect Alamein to the new administrative capital, and we can connect Alamein to Dab'a, which is quite close.
And when we're talking about transportation means, we're going to have an airport, right?
We are talking airports.
In the new administrative capital.
Definitely. There is an airport in Alamein, and they have upgraded the one beside Marsa Matruh. We have the one also in Burj Al Arab, and then we have the Sphinx one, which is in our Giza, exactly next to Jem. So, and that's not only talking about. I'll continue that. We're talking airports, we're talking train stations, and when we talk trains, we talk regular trains, high-speed trains, and we have monorails, and then we have highways, and we have regular roads. So you are talking, and then within the highways there are the mass transportation buses as well. So you are talking really about an overhaul to the transportation system using technology, using numbers, and all of this is again via transportation connected to via internet services within the transportation means, whether it be trains, planes, buses, and whatever. They are connected also to the Kafala and Karama, the support, the national financial support systems, and the special people's ID cards, because if you have a certain special needs, you are entitled to get discounts, 50% or 100% discounts in national transportation means, or 50% with your chaperone if you need a person accompanying you as well. So this is all an enhancement of the services using technology, a card with an ID number, and special machines. You just swipe your card and you get your service as a citizen of this country, whether you are a special needs person or you're a regular person or you're a student or you're an older person. So all of this is integrated within.
That's what we call digital transformation? Or
it's definitely part of the digital transformation. We've got now nearly 179 to 180, let's say 180 as a round figure, services that you can have through the internet. You can have your military cards issued and passages and allowances and so on as a young Egyptian male continuing his education and work permits and so on. You're talking about car permits, licenses, so many data, birth certificates, marriage certificates, and so on.
Yes.
So it's really a group of certificate, and all of this is available within the new administrative capital. Of course, it's available, the technology services and enhancement of the citizen and government relationship within the various ministries. So you cannot just, it's not cannot, but the system is geared to receive people per permits. So I have a request, I post my request, and I get an ID or a number, and I go there with my number at the designated time, at the designated office, and they help me with my request as a citizen. And this is something that is repeated within the ministry. So it's not something disorganized, but it is organized. And they are the employees over there, I'm talking middle management and up, they are all have been trained to receive citizens and to problem solve and to solve situations and so on, and to guide. So it's not pass by us another day, or it's not tomorrow, or it's go to the office next door. It's not the attitude of bureaucracy attitude in its negative sense here, but it is, I want to help you out, I want to make your life easier, your day shorter with us, and as easy and as smooth as possible, using my expertise, my training, and using technology within this space of the future. So again, we are building towards the future, the new republic, if you will. So it's all a bettering of our Hayat Karima. It's a decent life, it's a life better for the Egyptians of today, and it's a building of, it's the opportunity that is being created for the Egyptians of tomorrow, and that in itself gives a sense of security to parents, because as you know, we have around 2.5 million babies that are born every year, and this makes all parents of Egypt think, do I have a good future for my children? I want to give them the best education. So this takes us to the medical complex in the new administrative capital, for example, and
the educational facilities
exactly.
that will be there.
I was going
and
to
that
touch,
are already there.
I was going to touch on the medical, from a medical point of view, and there is a medical city over there, and then there is the educational. There's a group of local and international universities over there in the city of knowledge, and again, it's technology based, and with all the devices there to help students reach a better level of information and education. And then you've got the sports facilities.
Right.
And sports facilities is for local students and local Egyptians, young citizens, to build up their bodies from a professional and non-professional.
Right.
So I just can go and just play football or play
for a
tennis.
healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. So we're talking about all the components of a better life. And whatever it is you find at the new administrative capital, being, even though it is a green, it's the first and largest green city within Africa. And again, I'm not talking large from the point of view, oh, I'm stronger than you are, but I am Egypt. I am a country of 110 nearly million people, and I need to build for 110 million people. I am not a small country of less than 1 million people. I am not a medium-sized country of 20 to 30 million people, but I am a country of over 100 million people. So whenever I build something, it's not, I'm not building the largest mosque because I want the largest mosque or I have the money to spare to create a largest mosque, but I am building a big mosque to house the number of people that are there in my country already. So it is not a boasting issue, but rather a necessity issue. I need it because I have the people to fill it up. And this, as a person who attends conferences around the world, within the region and without the region, whenever I go to a conference and there is 1,000, 2,000 people, people think, 500 people think we have a crowded conference. Within Egypt, you have conferences and conference halls for 4,000 plus people. And that's because, again, we are Egypt. We are a country of sizable size, over 100 million population. We are half the Middle East in population-wise, and all of this has to be catered for our today, for our tomorrow, and for our next 10 years. So you did not build the October Bridge, which is something that I always try and sidestep whatever it is, because I am geared that October is going to be crowded and I'm going to lose a lot of time over in October, because it helped relate parts of Cairo to the other, but it was built only for 4 cars wide. So there mostly was an issue. Now we are building
But it was
roads.
a revolution at the time when it was built. I mean,
Well, if
my
we-
parents tell
if
me
we
that
remember-
when the 6th of October bridge was built, it made their life so much easier. It lasted maybe for 30 years.
No less.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah.
So I'm
30
sorry
or
to
40
say.
years.
No, less.
But it's still, anyway, I just don't want to take anything away from that bridge, because it helped make the lives
it was
of
a
millions
great-
of Egyptians easier
It's true.
for tens of years. But now it's we need more.
I think
we need more.
think it was supposed to help for even more than 20 years time. So I hope that whatever it is that's built today, it will help Egyptians
understand the
more than 20 years to come. I'm sorry to say, I was there when it was being built. My school was in Ramses, and my brother's school was in Ramses. He went to the Jesuit school.
Yeah.
Reaching the Ramses Square was a huge issue growing up. After October, definitely, but again, you are building for the Egypt then. You are solving the situation then.
Yeah, because
and
back
it
then
helped
maybe we were 40 million or 50 million or
less
something. Yeah.
again,
or less,
yeah.
or even less. Yeah.
So now we're talking about again. So you have to really think of the future. So it's not the question of solving the problem today. We want to solve the problem into the future. It's a once and for all. When you build your home, we as regular
And this is
citizens.
what you see happening today, with
Yes,
the new administrative
definitely.
capital, with the new cities all across Egypt.
And I'm trying
and,
to answer some of the criticisms that I hear back from colleagues, people, professionals within Egypt and without. Why are you building the largest if you're not a country who can afford? First of
But
all,
it's okay to listen to criticism and to respond. I mean, it's okay to have criticism, I guess.
That
so
is-
because it's a way of moving forward. I mean, we have to listen anyway.
opening
yeah.
up yourself to criticism actually helps you solve problems
Yeah.
and present yourself better.
Yes.
And that is why I'm trying to project the fact that the new republic is a dream. The new republic is a dream where, as an Egyptian, I have the right to get services from the country in which I reside, which is very proudly Egypt, and like a citizen that lives in countries that people talk about growing up and talk about now. And there are indices of happiness in countries and so on. So looking at a major point of let's say, bad humor and pollution and loss of money and loss of tempers and loss of a lot of losses is traffic. And if you solve traffic, and for Egypt to jump over 50 or 60 points, country levels, among the countries of the world, within this indices or index, means that I am helping my citizens, whether they are people moving in microbuses, in tuk-tuks, on motorcycles or in cars. I'm helped make their lives better for that hour, for that diminished hour, for that half an hour within the RDC. That's a phase. And then once they reach the ministries in the new administrative capital or anywhere else, again, the receival, helping out citizens. So this is a better situation.
The technology, the digital
Technology
transformation
helping
has made
them
a lot
out.
of things easier. Yes.
The housing, we were mentioning, for example, I was talking to you about, for example, El Manzala. El Manzala as an area in Egypt, as a lake, was a lake of problems within Egypt, where the people who left prisons, they went over there and
It was
took
known
refuge.
for drug trafficking.
Now El Manzala is known for one of the largest desalination projects and water renewable projects of the world, not the Middle East. So they are renewing and creating water. So this is a renewable, green, positive project. People have been moved to better housing. Security has been enhanced. So we are talking about a really, we have listened to the word sustainable so many times in from so many respects. Look at a project within Egypt like El Manzala, like on the totally different side, like the new administrative capital, a project that wasn't there and is being created, how sustainable it is. or a place that has been there and it has been negative and dark and related to many dark sides, and how much it's been transferred to being positive and so on. So, and that is my point, the transformation, the looking into the future, the bettering of people's lives within the Kahliya Manzala, within Giza, Egypt, within the new administrative capital, which is the new capital of the new republic, within Alexandria, within New Mansoura, within Alamein, within. So you are talking here, and then I definitely have to mention the prospect of the enhancement and the increase of the number of cultivated Egyptian lands, the increase of the number of feddans being cultivated by wheat. Egyptians are the largest importers of wheat in the world, and we barely had 10% of our requirements 10 years ago. Now we are moving up to 40%. We are still exporting 60% of our wheat, importing 60% of our wheat, but it's less 40% of what we used to. And with the numbers increasing, 2.5 million babies, you know, we increased 10 million people in the last 4 years. So if you're talking 10 years, we increased 20 million people. So by the last 10 years only, which is the reign of this current regime in Egypt, we have increased a mid-sized country. And that is why we have the largest. We're trying to create the largest. All of this because this is
for the future.
We are building
for a sustainable future.
We are sustainable.
All of this within a comprehensive vision.
Comprehensive, and I want to say secure. Again, we're celebrating the 72nd Police Day, and this is something to acknowledge security. We've got our Police Day, and of course we've got our military days as well. And so this is something to be celebrated. We are a country with institutions, with specializations even within security. And I'm happy to say, again, we are looking at the future from the point of view technology, from the point of view looking at police and knowing the honor of their history and their past. And thus you look at with trust to the future. I am an academic who go to university or to my work every day, but I do it in peace, in stability, and this is helping me be creative as a young Egyptian, as a young woman, as a student going to one school. So all of this helps create a better future, because we are all at ease doing what we should be doing. I'm coming to Maspero, I'm not worrying that my car will be taken over, or I'm not going to be run over, or I'm not going to be mugged. Or
Egypt is one of the safest countries in the world. There's no question.
Alhamdulillah. True.
Alhamdulillah. It's been a pleasure having you with us, Dr. Mai Badran,
Thank you.
A political and economic expert. Thank you very much. Thank you for your insight and for your time. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching Business Insider. Happy Police Day. Of course, it's the 25th of January, so that's in a couple of, or maybe in 1 hour from now. And of course, it also coincides with the anniversary of the 25th of Jan Revolution of the year 2011. So happy days here in Egypt. Dear viewers, we hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we have. And we hope you stay with Nile TV International. I'm Mohammed Abdelrahim, and this is goodbye.